Welcome to number 5 of our J&J Smoking Hour podcast. Coming to you live from Mineola, Florida, and Mr. Joel Reeser at Omerta, South Tulsa, Oklahoma, baby. How you doing, Joel?
A rowdy bunch with my boys.
What you smoking on there, Joel?
So I've got a, we were just talking about it before we started. I've got the Sinistro, Mr. Black Toro. We're getting ready to do a series of events here, a little over a week, hard to believe, with James, I believe, from the company. Great friends of the shop, make a quality product. I know as soon as you get back, you're making the rounds, doing the whole trip. So we're starting off at our Monroe location, then Tulsa Friday night, Stillwater, my neck of the woods on Saturday, and then back to the mothership on Sunday. So I want to show the fellas a little love, enjoy products.
Absolutely, man. I'm just seeing Henderson and Marcel and Nicole, the lovely Nicole, Marcel's wife, better half, if you will, at TPE. So got this short Robusto of the Aventura series, the
Explorer. Is it
Explorer,
the
yeah, I just fucking
I know, man. It's brain fart season, bro. It's been a day.
Yeah. Well, it's been a day. It's been 3 days of driving. So
yeah, I bet, dude.
But yeah, so as Joel mentioned, we got our 2-year anniversary coming up on Thursday, March 9th at the Monroe location. James is going to be coming down from Cali to the great state of Louisiana, northern Louisiana. We're going to be having him in the house Thursday with food, obviously fellowship, great cigar deals, great company. I love dealing with Sinistro.
Yeah.
And we're going to be giving away a nice little pew pew paperweight, you know what I mean, from the local TP Outdoors. Great company to grab your local paperweights from to support your Second Amendment rights, baby. Let's go. And then yeah, that night we're going to leave, probably stop in Arkansas and hit Tulsa, Oklahoma for their 2-year anniversary. Same company, same paperweight, but it's going to be a little 380 paperweight, not a 9 paperweight. So thanks for Joel hooking that up today and getting that squared up for me, since I was obviously out of the state. And
fish
then,
out of water, baby. Fish out of water. I'm just saying.
Same thing. Sinistro, food, fellowship, fun, and little great raffle to celebrate our 2 years there in Tulsa, Oklahoma, one of pretty much my hometown.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna head over to the north side of the state to see our owner and operator and good friend Joel Reeser. You may have heard of him, aka Mouth of the Midwest.
Mouth of the Midwest.
Going to be introducing even though they've had the Sinistro cigars, going to have a little bit larger lineup for them to partake in that day. Obviously the Bar Zero Stag Lounge going to be a great time. We're going to be giving away a custom Sinistro Pyramid Humidor. Looking forward to getting that out there. And then we're going to wrap up on Sunday at HQ in South Oklahoma City with Sinistro again. Same great raffle, same great fellowship, and that's going to be our biggest event, along with PuroCigarHouse.com. That's PURO cigarhouse.com. Sunday as well, we'll be offering the deals and a little different package setup. But again, for all our out-of-state folks, you're going to be able to get in there and get those great deals. So I'm looking forward to that. So enough about that part of our business. How's Tulsa treating you, Joe?
Oh man, look. So as Jared knows, he's been traveling, but it's been a week. So I joke, man. Still, he's great, and just wrapping up some inventories for Stag and all that, and spending time at our Wilshire dive bar, getting that set up. But anytime I get a chance to come up to Tulsa, I always joke with the guys. I always say it's like a day off, and I don't mean that like we're sitting on our thumbs, but I love these guys up here, man. Everybody knows, we've talked about it. I'm a huge draft nerd. I know we'll be doing one of the draft nights up here, I'm sure. And then, but anytime, Roy and our own Wayne Van Horn sitting here creeping next to me. Yeah, you can't say he's off camera, he's waving. But
ask Roy how those bills are looking, baby.
We've already had that talk. We're both already having the talk as a beloved Cowboys fan.
You got the tomahawk chop, baby.
Oh, I tell you, that's about to happen on them cap. But talking about drafting running backs, But no, I love these guys up here, and this is family. It goes back to what we were talking about the other week, man. It's a treat. I really do love coming up here, man.
Perfect. Well, going to keep the agenda pretty short today. We're going to talk about TPE. Originally, we had planned on both of us being there, but since it was just me, we're going to do a little Q&A so we can talk about the ins, outs, and otherwises of Las Vegas. The Total Product Expo now is no longer the Tobacco Plus Expo as it was
Oh,
when
I
I
didn't
first started going.
learn something new today.
Yeah, I learned something new while I was there. I had no idea.
Yeah.
It took me like the third day to figure it out. Even though it had a big giant sign in the front.
Yeah, it makes sense though. It makes sense catering all sorts of lines.
Yeah,
Of
of
business.
course. Great setup. That thing has grown so much from the first time I went back in probably like 2010, 11. Such a huge change. And it's like, not to poke the bear in you, but it's like those 2 years, 2009, 10, 11, somewhere in there, I don't remember exactly, was my first, at the time, IPCPR show, PCA, now PCA, and my first Tobacco Plus Expo show. And they've kind of flip-flopped, right? One was big and huge and everybody was there. Another one was super small. And now it's like the opposite. Now this one's the whole North Hall. It's people everywhere. It's full every day. And the other one, not so busy as it once was, right?
They're
Like
gone by Monday.
it's interesting to see the changes over time, right? Over a decade or so. But anyway, we'll talk about that. And then our guru here, we'll talk a little bit about the NFL free agency.
Sure.
I am in the backyard, so if you guys hear some dogs barking or a little,
Yeah.
I seen some geckos or something. There's like a whole bunch
Oh
of
yeah,
them around, like
it is Florida.
little lizards everywhere, man. I was like,
No,
man,
they oh yeah, they creep in the house too. But
if I had the hound here, he'd be going nuts.
no, he would too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we'll certainly talk about TPE. I had a couple of questions I jotted down, and you actually kind of hit on one of them. But I'll stick with that if you don't mind. I'll mouth of the Midwest. I'll try to keep it short. But you mentioned PCA, formerly IPCPR, TPE. We noticed that obviously a few years ago, Jared, we had what we called the big switch with the big four. So what just walking in there, obviously you took Sammy and some good friends out there check it out. So you look at like Sammy going for the first time. What was his thought process as a new guy going? Because this is his first show.
So I'll be honest, if you took an outsider, like, obviously Sammy helps us a lot with, and I got a funny story about Sammy too at the first night industry show, but we'll get on to that here in a second.
Sure.
If you take somebody from outside the industry or a first timer, right? Like most of them have that like initial fanboy experience, right? Like, oh, it's Saka. Oh, it's Eric Espinoza. Oh, it's Henderson, right?
Yeah.
So I think, for him, he still got that same excitement.
Sure.
Obviously the layout's different. The booths are smaller. It's not as many cigar vendors as it's kind of hard to compare it to PCA now, but let's say PCA 5 years ago, right? Big area, could fill the North Hall,
sure.
100,000 square feet, right? Like plenty of vendors. So that part, he still had that same experience. For me, obviously, like I said, it's a bigger than it was, but it's a lot more down to earth. So that's what I liked about it. You know me, bro. Like, I don't need all the hoopla. I just want to get in there. Tell me what your deal is. Give me a sheet. Let me write it down. Let me get on moving my day. Right.
That was my second question. Just I'll piggyback on that.
Right.
How would you say? Obviously, you and I, PC, we've done both for that matter. How would you, as a retailer or operator, compare the ease of business of TPE to the
night
ease
and
of
day.
business at PCA?
It's night and day, man. They're everybody's there. It seems a lot more business focused. Like, yeah, it's great to catch up with a rep or an owner, and I talked to Eric probably the longest out of everybody, right?
Yeah,
Eric and maybe Albert over with
Rojas Cigars.
Rojas, yeah.
Albert Cisneros, great friend of the show.
Obviously, I took some time because I miss Marcel and Henderson and Nicole when they came through Oklahoma City because I had a cover down in Monroe, so I missed that event. But so I visited with them a little bit, but for the most part, man, like in and out, man, like sit down with Oliva, 4 or 5 minutes later, we're done. Right. Here's some samples. Thanks for your business. Tell Paul we said hi. He said, absolutely. And we moved on with life. Like, so I would say and not having to walk all over the place. Right. Like, I had one appointment the whole time and I got, plenty of orders in, bro, but I had one appointment that was set, and I get that he needed to set the appointment. I'm not complaining. Yeah. But it was nice that the ones I didn't have an appointment set for, that I could just come by, grab a sheet, write my stuff down, and then catch them in between and be like, yo, here's this. Hey man, how's it going? Boom, boom, boom. Nice to see you. 3,
out.
4, 5 minutes. We're in and out and on to the next one. I mean, in all honesty, I could have been done day one, but I wanted to have a reason to go back for day two.
Sure, yeah,
But we
it's
didn't
great
even
time.
bother going back day three, if that tells you anything.
Business is
Whereas
done.
before, you know, you had to, it's easier to get to because you're getting dropped off right in front. You take the escalator up, you're in, right? You're not having to walk all the way through the Venetian or the Sands and all the way to the back, which is, you know, listen, walking's walk. I'm not worried about walking, but you talk about it's easier to get to.
Yep.
Everybody's more clustered. The booths are smaller,
Yep.
and everybody's more like in tune with getting business done versus like the bullshitting. Now, the
You
bullshitting
do
I
that at
love,
the bar. You do
right,
that
at the bar,
around.
right.
Yeah, Casa Fuente, wherever. Sure, 100%.
And I really appreciated the straight to business perspective because that's just who I am as a person, right? Like, so, yeah, I just, from that standpoint, I liked it better. Now,
Yeah.
the flip side of that is you don't get as much one-on-one time. So if you enjoy that part of PCA and your appointments, then you're not getting it here. Like, whatever, right? And it was just a little bit less, you know, it's not as over the top.
Yeah.
Right. So you're in there, the booth outside of maybe Drew, no one really had a major booth, right? 2 tables max,
Couple
one
of chairs,
table,
do some business. Yeah,
couple chairs, do some
guys are
business,
excited about it.
in and out, and get your day going, right? So,
But actually, I'll ask you that. Yeah, guys are excited out here. It's a tough question because I thought about this one too. And you know, me growing up a pro wrestling fan, writing for years, you know, you always think about the competition over the years. In your mind or in your just, you know, being there, is there an actual competition or is the people at TPE there to do business? It's a tough question, you know. It's hard to spot you like that, but
well, you know, I honestly, it'd be great if we had some feedback for what sales look like versus
okay.
attendance. It's hard to judge attendance because there's so many people there for other genres within the industry, right? Whether it's vape or CBD or whatever, right?
Yeah. Let me rephrase that. Are they
okay.
looking at it more so because maybe I spoke out of turn? Are they looking at, I feel like with these retailers, and a lot of these guys support PCA too. Are they looking at it like you have to go to one or the other, or are they just being conducive to like, hey man, this is a great opportunity to do some bridge buying before the summer after the holidays, compared to like you either go to this one or you're enemy number one. Does that
One
make
thing
sense?
I do appreciate
Just WWE compared
as
to
a
like,
retailer is that there is a second buying season now, right? So that is something going from last year to this year that I plan in the budgeting, right? So that we can take maximum advantage of what we do and how we do business. So that for me is great. For them, they're pushing a big chunk of product in the slower part of the season. So I get it, right? You didn't have as many new releases being dropped. That's typically a PCA thing. And I think they kind of plan their release dates kind of around that. You did have a few, but you know, obviously much less than before.
And things like that too. Yeah.
I will say that you're seeing growth, right? Like you're seeing the one thing I did like is they allowed the boutiques to team up and kind of do like this big rectangular type
They
booth.
did the center thing again.
Yeah,
like
but they did it from
that was great.
2 of them, right? So now you're getting to see like 8 companies all in one area, and there's some exposure, and there's some. It's cost effective for the manufacturers, bro.
Big time.
And I think
there's a word.
I've been at a booth. I've had to pay for a booth at PCA, and that was 10, 11 years ago, man. And it was expensive then. And it's just the cost to reward ratio for your smaller companies. I think very heavily benefits TPE versus PCA, just in my opinion. And I think you're getting more exposure from as a boutique company because there's just not as much pressure, right?
Bingo. I'm so glad you said that, dude. Because I won't get into specifics of, but no, just take it from an out. Like when I was making America, you'd have a great new retailer, for example, that would go out and say do their first trade show at PCA at the time, that would set up an elaborate booth because that's what they would hear, and they'd spend X amount. Bro, you'd have to open 100, 200 accounts with $100 orders just to break even from the trade show. Where, as you referenced, Jarrett, you go out to this trade show, you set up a metal folding table and a couple of chairs, do business. You get together at Bar Luca or the Dulce or the Casa Fuente, have a drink. So yeah, from a retailer's perspective, that's great. How was the vibe just using the big four you got, because obviously great business partners of ours, but say Drew Estate, General, Davidoff, and Altadas. How are they? Are they happy there? Is it
So
much
I can't tell you about General Tadas because
Mhm.
in Rocky, because they had super small
Okay.
booths. You could drop an order off, but I think they really encourage you to go through the rep to get the deal,
Fair
which
enough.
is great. Because listen,
It's our
I'm able to
business, yeah.
get the deal, do my homework without leaving the desk,
There
and
you
just
go.
email it to them while I'm at the event. I don't have to
Easy.
print it out or carry it around or try to read it off my phone. Like I can just send it to them and I'm done, right? Like just done.
Yeah.
Drew had the relatively same setup they normally have, maybe a little
Yeah,
bit
very
smaller.
Yeah.
And they kind of ran it the same way they normally do. So
Mhm.
that I don't think was much different from them. Obviously, with the exception of like there was really nothing new to drop. So
Yeah,
I would say
they
that's
had
the
such a great
only
season already.
difference between the two.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Like it'd be great to know from a business, just from a purely business perspective.
Sure.
Like if you look, let's just say Drew, right? Like how much
Yeah.
did you spend here versus what you wrote, what's your net, right?
Yeah.
You didn't have as many people, so
Yeah.
hotel costs were down, all the costs were down, right?
Sure.
What was your net there versus what it was your last time you did PCA, right? Which I know
Yeah.
they spent a very large sum of money to be
Oh
there.
yeah. Oh yeah. I know that.
I would say that they probably spent less than half of that here, and maybe even including them being one of the main sponsors for the
Sure.
industry night party on the first
Sure.
night. I would still be surprised if they spent even half of what they spent previously. So,
It's great.
I don't know, man. Listen, I'm not on that side to tell these guys what to do. I will say that I appreciate as a retailer this format much more because it's more
Business
time
friendly.
efficient and effective to what I'm doing for the day, and it's more to the point, right? Like I don't need all the BS you ain't got to sell me. Like I'm ready to buy, right? So
Yeah, not kicking tires,
right, we're not out kicking tires. Right? I did take a look at some new companies, Lampert being one of them.
It's a good product. I've
Yeah.
had it. Good product.
So some other companies I'm going to keep an eye on as we talk about.
I won't say the other one.
Listen, but you gotta understand, like for Puro Cigar House, right? Like it's more of a boutique driven company versus. So
our
it's
listeners
nice.
are
It's
most
nice for us to
involved.
take a look at that and have some new options coming in,
Yeah.
right? So
And it's a good product. I've
right.
had them. Yeah. But speaking of good times and everything, mentioned Drew Estate. How were the parties? Parties are always a really
Industry
good time.
party was great. So first night, well, I think it was Wednesday night,
Thursday night, yeah.
Wednesday
I think
night.
it was Monday, yeah.
Industry party. They had it was cold. It was outside, but they did a full food spread. Had like multiple bars. It wasn't hard to get a drink. Had it not been 38 degrees and windy, it'd been great.
Yeah.
Had I not forgot my jeans and been wearing shorts and a polo, it'd have been even better. But they had some heaters. We had one of those heat lamps. We still underneath that. I was good.
Cool.
It was funny. You can hear people like, dude, you're wearing shorts. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna use this heat lamp. I'm good. Like I'm straight.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. Left. Like we left. I was like, oh man. Great party. I got some pics. It was a good turnout, man. Everybody was cool. I really enjoyed that. Drew gave out some 3-packs. I think I had the blackened in there. The M81. They had I'm not sure what the other 2 cigars were, but I think one was a UC Shade.
Yeah. And
something else. Like I didn't open up the pack. I actually brought the packs back and I've been handing out to some of the guys around the shops and stuff. Yeah. So great event. The second night was interesting because we just started this with Freud when Freud started up. Obviously, Marsha and Brad Fish, independent sales reps here in the Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana market, whatnot, Kansas.
Salt of the earth, yeah.
Great people. Got to meet a bunch of the Freud company crew. Yeah. We're bringing the new Alter Ego in, which I have smoked, and I can tell you, that if you're not familiar with them, you should definitely familiarize yourself. I mean, they just had, the Super Ego release, which is kind of comparable to a Davidoff White, if you will, the classic series. And the Agape, which is like their limited run, great cigar. But for me, like on a super low end of mild, right? I got to smoke it first if I want to get anything out of it.
Yeah. Coffee cigar.
But the Alter Ego, man. So in all honesty, because I was talking to one of the owners that night, He was like, well, what do you think? So I was at his party, right? It's at the Davidoff Lounge right there off of Las Vegas Boulevard in front of the Fashion Mall. And I was like, here's the deal, man. I've smoked, this is my third or fourth cigar today. I can taste it. So that tells me that there's something there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, and I didn't want to, you know, just blow smoke up his ass just because he invited me. And so we had a conversation about that. We talked about, you know, selling techniques and things for us that we need to figure out and how to present their product. And I kind of came to the conclusion that, like, man, this is really the product for us, since we're not a Davidoff dealer, that if you have those like Underground Shade and Crema or the Intemperance EC guys, right? The Inspirado guys from Macanudo, but they're wanting that Gotta Fire, Opus,
a luxury product.
Padron 26 or Padron Family Reserve, like, you know, the from a price standpoint, what they
luxury
lineup, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that line is a great step up for those guys, which, you know, we really don't have a lot of, you know, outside of Davidoff, there's really not a lot out there for those guys, right? Everything's more driven toward, you know, medium plus when you start getting into those $20+ sticks. So, but I will say I did smoke the Ultra Ego like 2 days later on a fresh palate. And I'll be honest, like, I would smoke it over a late hour. I really enjoy the product.
That's a great product, yeah.
So
excited to smoke it.
That's actually about to hit. I'm looking forward to getting that out there and getting some guys to try it. I think once guys get a hold of that Ultra Ego, that's going to fit like more of the palette across the board. Whereas that the Super Ego and the Agape is more of like that low end. When I say low end, from a strength standpoint, right?
Sure.
That lower third guys that don't just ain't used to having the palate blown out, right? Like some of us that.
Early in the morning.
Some of us don't, and it is what it is, bro. It's great. So I feel like now we have something that we can present to them that is a quality luxury product, if you will, and that we can get in their hands. But funny story at the event. So we were the first ones there, me and Sammy.
That's my next question.
Yeah, no.
See, so, we're on it, bro.
No, yeah, we're ESPN here, right? So we're there. I just sit down. You know, that place is super small. It's U-shaped. It's like, it was cold, so like no one was really sitting on the patio. And it's Freud's party, right? They just first year in business, like they're excited. You know, we put in a decent size order. They were extremely happy with the order. Invited us out, like which I appreciated, man. They didn't have to invite us out, right? They didn't have to rent out the Davidoff. They didn't have to have an open bar. But they were handing out the Ultra Ego, right? So that when you came in, they're like, boom, here's one, ready to go. Boom, here you go.
Premium cigar.
They're just releasing it, hasn't even hit the market yet. Like it's just started shipping at the end of the show. And like right off the bat, like I'm kind of by the front door and I'm at the bar with one of the owners and talking to Fish. And one of the other main guys was kind of dealing with the ladies at the front, helping them hand out cigars and you know, just saying, hi, how's it going? And I guess it's just been a while since I've been around a certain type of person.
You'll love this.
I forget that there is people out there that are super pompous, man, like just pretentious. And I think it's just because maybe our environment doesn't really, you know, whether it's Stag or Wilshire or Merta or PCH or our group, like we really don't have, we got guys that come from money or got money, right? They've earned their money. Or we've got some guys that come from money, but like no one's really like outrageously pretentious, right? Like
super humble
or pompous, if you will. Like, but the audacity of this guy to like come in, thank you, you're Freud, right? You're coming in, you're the guy coming in to see me, right? Hey, how's it going, Joel? Good to see you, man. And I'm not going to mention this. I don't know the guy. I don't know what retailer shop from. I don't know where he's from, right? But, you know, so I'm introducing, hey, you know, here's a cigar. What, you ain't got no Davidoffs? Well, no, man. It's Freud Cigar Company. We're celebrating, you know, almost a 1 year, right? Like we're happy to have you guys here. We're happy to be a retailer. Well, it just doesn't seem right being in a Davidoff lounge and not getting a free Davidoff, bro. Well, again, we're 4 Cigar Company. We got the Alter Ego here. We're just releasing it. And the guy was super cool, man. Like a lot cooler than I'd have been. Like, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
Like, I'd have been like, you know what? Get out of here. But
It's a door
I'm
fan.
sitting there and I'm just like, are you serious? Like, I'm just like, I'm trying to talk to the owner and fish. And I'm like, what, listening to this guy right next to me, like maybe like slightly outside of an arm length from me, right? And it just dawned on me like how different, because it's been a while since I've been at a trade show. You know, I didn't go last year, didn't go, I don't think I've been since 19. And I usually don't go to the after parties either. I kind of just go do my own thing. And it just kind of just dawned on me like, there is that group of people out there. And that's the guy that'll give you shit over what kind of cigar you're smoking and how much you paid for it, right? It don't have this particular brand label on it or whatever. And it really brought me back to a sense of reality that I forgot existed, right?
Sure.
Like, and it also made me realize like that shit better never happen at places, bro. I don't care if you want to smoke a $4 cigar or a $100 cigar, as long as you're buying it from us, and as long as you're going to enjoy it and be an adult and enjoy your adult experience with us, that's all I want. And it just kind of
love our hashtags, man.
Right.
Thinking about them because you think of both of them focused on fellowship and live a cigar life for that matter. You think of it like fellowship, dude, like the $4 or the $100 cigar. Bro, I always tell people, like, people are like, oh man, do you like that cigar? You know, and it may be something I don't like, Jared, but I'm like, it's irrelevant. And they're like, what are you talking about? Because the fact of the matter is, you don't know that person's place in life, bro. That $6 cigar might have been all they could afford that day. If they like that cigar, that's all that matters. You know what I mean?
Right. Joel, what internet are you on at the shop?
Staff network. I just saw a note.
So what?
Is it bad? I just saw a note about stay on stage.
Bro, you're breaking up like super. It's gotten worse throughout the podcast.
Not again.
Are you not on the 5G?
I am. Let me see if I can cut and get back in. Can you give me a sec?
Is that door closed?
Yes. Can you
open it up?
Yeah.
Open up the door in between you guys.
Yep. Is that better? Can you hear me?
It's already better.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, hold up. I'm on the staff network on the 5G. So is that better?
Yeah, it's a way better. It must be the door that's blocking some of the.
Yeah, it was super windy too. Might have been some interference, but that's good now. But no, am I cutting out still or am I good?
You're good.
Okay, perfect. So no, but I was saying, yeah, man, like, dude, it's a humble game, like, especially in the business that we're in the service industry. But when you told me that story, I was laughing because I just immediately thought, even to my rep days when I was a retailer, man, I dealt with, shops that were just opening up with simple orders to guys that were Davidoff accounts. And, I could name some, I won't, but you've met a few of them. There's guys that are like the salt of the earth, man, that are just, family owned business. And then there's guys that have all sorts of money, but you still go in there and you go in there and it's a wonderful experience. They have money and they never acted like that. You know what I mean? And that's a big deal. I laughed when you told me that story, not because it was funny, just because it's embarrassing, man. Like, like you couldn't pull that S in Oklahoma, man. We're all working people up here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got people with money that don't, but like, just don't do that stuff, man. Everybody's trying to serve you and serve you right. You know what I'm saying? Especially,
it is what it is, bro. I mean, there's all kinds of types of people in the world. It just, like I said, man, I guess it just been a while since I've really been around that part of the industry. And it's disappointing, like for me, right? Because I'm just a regular dude, bro. Like,
bro.
Like, I appreciate every cigar that's bought from us. I don't care how much it costs. I appreciate everybody who walks through the door.
Yep.
I don't care if you're at the bar, if you're buying $3 beers or if you're buying $300.
Right? 18.
Yeah. Listen, I will never assume to spend another man or another woman's money. That's their money.
I love that quote, dude. I'm still in the Yep.
Like, it ain't my place to tell you how much to spend. It's my place to give you the best experience so that you want to spend it with me.
I heard that at Best Buy. Don't ever shop out of somebody's wallet. Let them.
Right.
I thought that's a great quote, dude.
I don't mind giving people, options, right?
Yeah,
or helping them grow within their palate or within their whatever, right? Like, I'm good with that. But I will never look down on somebody for how they spend their money. I just won't do it.
We got a character here, man. We got a character here.
Oh, hey, fly Eagles fly, baby.
legend.
Oh, hey, right here, fly Eagles fly, baby.
God dang, dude.
What happened?
Love Mario. Good to see you, buddy. Love Mario, man. I ain't seen him since them damn Eagles, dude. Them damn Eagles, you know. Hey, if you talk about two people, pull that door back open, brother. Two people coming together, man. Mario's my guy, man. And I made that reference on a prior podcast where a Eagles fan and a Cowboys fan can come together over this. A great equalizer. You know what I mean? That's funny. Jared's a Chiefs fan, so you know he got to talk that noise, dude. But that's fantastic, dude. That's fantastic, brother. But any other thoughts on PCA? Because I wanted to hit a couple
TPE.
of questions.
TPE.
Oh yeah. Boy, we talked about that too. TPE.
I definitely feel like we're going to see that model grow over the next 3 to 5 years.
Sure.
I wouldn't be surprised within the next 3 years to see that be the larger of the two shows, unless something dramatically changes.
Sure.
And
it's a
listen,
conversation,
man. Like I have my opinion, and some people get upset about that within other shops or even PCA, and it's no offense to them.
No, man, they're great people. Just the same.
At the end of the day, like I have to pay to be a member of PCA, right?
100%.
And same way we support CRA, right? Like we buy their packs, we help. That's what we do to try to help. All
Fight
that.
the good fight, yeah.
And I get it. I get the concept, but it doesn't mean that I have to agree with the way that I feel like it's headed.
Yeah.
Maybe it's stuff I don't know, but I'm just saying from a manufacturing side and a retailer side, it's not working for me. Right.
Things have to change. I think even I'll say that as the guy who loves both. Things got to change because it's always got to be great for the retailer, great for the consumer, and great for the manufacturer. Everybody's got to win. And great for we got to have the fight, man, at the end of the day. Because we want to keep doing this and do what we love. So somebody's got to have a dog in the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I as much as I don't like trade shows, I really am glad I went. I enjoyed getting to talk to some of the owners. I don't really get to talk to that much unless they come by the shop. And that part, as far as talking about future projects or future events, was probably my favorite part, right? Getting to hear some jokes here and there.
Yeah.
That part I definitely enjoyed. Also I enjoyed staying with the Pottas. My 808 crew was there in Vegas, so we didn't have to stay at a hotel, and I got to eat fresh fried rice and Portuguese sausage with over easy eggs in the morning, and all kinds of fixings at night. That part was great too, bro.
Somebody asked me, because I stayed in that with business out here for us, and everybody's like, "Do you miss not going?" Yeah, I mean, I love the trade show, but I was like, "I see what I did miss. I ain't eating that well." That's what I said, Sister Des. Dude, I want to say, you talk about respect for the industry. If I'm not mistaken, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, bro. You talk about a servant's heart and the spirit of good people. I'm pretty sure she made a plate for Lafferty, our good friend David.
So
Lafferty,
she made some. What's funny is she made the soup, right? I can't remember what it's called. She made the soup, and she took it over there. It was supposed to be for Cindy, Steve, and Lafferty.
Yeah.
Right.
They made it all.
No. Listen. So Lafferty ended up eating all of it.
Or no.
But he didn't tell them that because Cindy and Steve didn't realize they lived there in Vegas. So they thought she brought the soup from Hawaii and they were scared to eat it. And Lafferty's like, more for me. So he knew why. And he also knew that they lived there.
Yeah.
He ate that whole bowl, bro. That whole bowl he showed was for 3 people. He smoked that whole thing off. And then afterwards, like, hey, they live here now, right? Like that was fresh. Like made this morning.
Funny. That's funny. Oh, that's
so we got a good laugh out of it, man. We was one of the topics of conversation one of the last nights they were in. So there was a bunch of Hawaiian guys in, so we all met up on Thursday over at the house, and they shot some pool and smoked cigars and ate and just doing what they do, man. Like
fellowship.
Fellowship. Got to meet with the spend a little aloha with the 808 crew. It was great. Yes, met some new guys in the crew I ain't got to meet before, so that was cool. And but yeah, we got a good laugh out of that, bro. So yeah, that's TP in a wrap, man. I looking forward to next year.
Absolutely.
It's a good business for us, and it was a good opportunity to work on some projects that are coming up in the future. So nothing but love for TPE. and I hope to see that continue to grow.
Can't wait, man. Glad to hear it. Glad you guys had a good time too. I mean, real quick, like I said, we don't want to keep everybody too long, and I know you joined that Florida weather, but I guess we could touch base real quick on the free agency rumblings, because with the NFL transition over to the sports, if you're down for that.
Absolutely. So you're going to have to fill me in more. I've tried to keep up, but with the traveling last week and then boom, hitting the road again from OKC to Louisiana, now to Florida, I'm a little behind. I've been trying to really look at the salary cap issues and see who's going to get cut.
That's like 2 weeks out.
Right.
I'll just touch base on a few of them, get your thoughts on it real quick. Cause dude, I was so mad at myself. I was working our Wilshire dive bar on Monday, and I thought the combine started Monday. So I was doing some inventory, and I was all excited to have some coffee, smoke a cigar before we got to the business of the day. And it was like the most boring 2 hours because the combine doesn't start till Thursday. We'll have it on up here. But yeah, man, there's some teams in some salary cap hell. I can tell you right now. I mean, this should come as no great surprise, but Carson Wentz is now a free agent again. Leonard Fournette, as of this morning, is a free agent. Tampa cut him, and I've already been hearing. This is the big one. I've been hearing ramblings because I knew the Rams were in cap hell, and they're getting ready to either release or trade Jalen Ramsey, who's arguably I'd say top 3 corner, top 2 corner.
Yeah, you got to put Sauce up there now. I think Sauce graded out.
Yeah, Sauce, Trayvon Diggs for the Cowboys.
As a rookie,
yeah. Oh, Sauce definitely up there. Easy defensive rookie of the year. Fantastic.
But the Rams, from what I understand, they're kind of the Bills are about to be in a similar boat. I think they kind of
the Saints are probably in the worst cap hell of anybody.
They sold the future to try to win one right now, right?
Yeah.
Which, hey, listen, if you got a shot, I think you should take it.
Yeah.
Not to get off subject with the NBA, but I think that's where the Lakers are at right now too, right? I don't think
LeBron's hurt. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I seen that. Okay, that's unfortunate, right? But I don't think
that sucks, man. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think it matters. I don't think they were going to make the playoffs, and if they did, they were barely going to squeak in. And I don't think they would have got out of the play-in round, right?
I think they were out.
They're just struggling, man. And they don't have anything for the future.
Traded all their first-round picks. I don't think they have.
Yeah, there's nothing for them to build off of, right? They think about all the talent they have pushed out of there since LeBron's got there, right?
You see, they traded for one back,
right? But
Russ back,
Russ, Randall,
yeah, Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball,
yeah, all these guys went on to ball out somewhere else.
Contavious Caldwell-Pope. I mean, there's Russ, obviously Russ as a 6-man was playing great, and he's over there playing for the Clippers now after the buyout with Utah. So that's pretty wild on that. But yeah, man, I think within the next, I'd say a few days, it's already starting, but next week, man, you're going to start seeing some crazy stuff going down with the, obviously the combine is going to be a big deal, but yeah, free agency, get ready, guys. Next time we do the podcast, we're going to have plenty of news.
We'll see what happens. I mean, there's some teams. I mean, I think you got the Chiefs, right? Chiefs, and they need to do some restructuring, but they have options, man. Chiefs, as much as I like Frank Clark, getting his 19 mil off the books,
and you already got Carl Loftus, man, who showed up really good.
And they got the draft is going to be very heavy in the first round or two for offensive, right?
They're looking
very little defensive line, linebacker where they need help. So they got options, right, to go out there and get some players, man. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's gonna be anxious. It's gonna be curious to see who gets cut and why.
This is gonna be a crazy offseason, dude. I'm telling you, you know how I'm with the draft stuff, but I'm telling you, man, the rumblings that I'm already hearing, and I don't want to address them until we get concrete proof, but dude, some of the people that are on the trade block just at the receiver market, ooh, I mean, it's you already seen Robert Woods cut from Tennessee. I mean, keep an eye on guys like Evans and Godwin in Tampa. Keep an eye on Michael Thomas in New Orleans. I've even been hearing Stephon Diggs might be in play. Love to put a star on his helmet with his brother. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? But keep an eye on Kansas City, because one of the guys asked me up here about Juju coming back. And I'm like, bro, that's what the Chiefs do. You can get a veteran without too much tread on the tires. But they get Juju 1 year for $3 million, and then Veta Scantling for a cup of coffee. Bro, that's all you got to do. Chiefs got a well-rounded roster.
I think the Chiefs are going to.
They'll be back.
Go with the same program.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we'll see Juju back. I don't think.
No, I think I said the same thing.
And listen, he needs to go get paid, bro. He had a good season.
He's earned it. He's earned it.
Somebody's
For the
gonna
2-3
pay him,
year.
but it ain't gonna be the Chiefs.
No, he'll get a 2-3 year deal. He's already got the ring now. Now he can get paid.
You
Get the
know,
bag.
if I can only hope that, they can pick up, the receiving class is pretty deep.
Very
Or
deep.
you get another minimum vet in, right? Like,
Yeah.
I've seen some rumblings about D Hop getting traded.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say it. Yeah. Oh, that he's moving. I would, Jared, I would bet you a box of Sinistro cigars at an event of your choice that he's one of the first guys. It ain't gonna cost you a whole hell of a lot. Maybe second, third round pick. It's rich capital, but somebody's gonna end up with a great receiver.
Man, you
can see
can't
all
put
the-
D Hop on that team with Sky Moore's second year, Kelsey, even
And
the
then,
gray kid, the
Hardman.
tight end.
Yeah.
Hardman,
Nicole
he got
if they
hurt.
bring him back.
I think his deal is up though.
I don't know if they bring him back, but again, do you want to bring him back if you can pay D Hop?
No. D Hop's one of the
Young
best
corners.
of all time, bro. Like,
Yeah, Trent McDuffie. You got these great young corners. Again, teams that draft well. You think of the Chiefs, the Cowboys.
we got lucky. I mean, the
Pittsburgh.
secondary draft pick. I mean, basically all the
Really?
draft picks from the last 2 years have been hitting, right?
Mhm.
We haven't had a lot of swings and misses, which happens. Like,
Yeah, of course. Dude.
I don't. But they've done a great job of drafting. We'll see who does well and who spends their money well. I who knows, bro? Like,
Because you talked about Frank Clark, and then we'll end it. But you think about this: are you going to pay Frank Clark another $25 million, or are you going to lock up Nick Bolton, who scooped and scored for you, man, who's coming into a deal? He's earned it. You're gonna
Right.
get him done early, so you got him for another 4 or 5
one
years.
of the leading tacklers in the NFL, man. Young guy,
Undersized, coming out of Missouri. Yeah, cute. How'd he play?
right?
Unbelievable talent.
You can't put a size on heart and ability, bro. Like,
Bumper, bro. He'd be.
you think
smacking.
about someone like Sam Mills, right? Like, he was a
Yeah.
smaller, undersized guy, and he played a long time for the Saints and otherwise, bro. Like, some of those guys just, they're just football players, bro. It don't matter. Like, they don't need to be 6'3" and
Look at
250.
Tyreek Hill, man. Tyreek Hill's like tiny as a postage stamp, bro. He's
Right.
a ring, and now he's got the bag to go with it.
That is something else that'll be interesting to see what they're gonna do with Tua.
Actually, what they're going to do with Lamar Jackson, maybe Kyler, dude. It's going to be wild this year, man. You're going to see some crazy stuff, man.
Well, the problem is, which kind of messes for the quarterback. Let's talk about quarterbacks right now.
Yeah, for sure.
The deal that Deshaun Watson signed messed it up for all the other teams, bro.
Dak Prescott looking cheap now. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, not just cheap, but think about the guaranteed money, right? These guys are especially these running guys. And I get it. Like, Deshaun Watson got that. My stats are better. I should get that too, right?
Receivers,
But it's not realistic because you're putting your wagon to a guy that hasn't played a full season yet, right?
What about
Like,
on that, the guys that great talents, we know both of them, but what's and we've talked about this up here. You look at Arizona and Baltimore, what's cost them the playoffs? It's been the injuries to the quarterbacks, Kyler, Lamar. So are you going to go? I don't think any of us argue Lamar Jackson's fantastic talent, but 2 years injured now. Are you going to give him $40 million a year?
Arizona's an interesting situation too.
I know that's a whole nother conversation.
The wheels fell off.
Got him fired.
Kyler's hurt.
He's not studying tape allegedly.
I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
we'll
I say allegedly on that.
But he's not going to be back to 100% till the season after next, bro.
Sure.
Oh yeah. So what are they going to do? I mean, JJ retired. D Hop wants out.
Yep.
The line was less than so far. Like,
they already lost Reddick. They might be.
Yeah, it was a team that was built and ready to move forward, right? This is supposed to be a year where they moved forward, and they took a huge step backwards. And now they got salary cap problems. They got
big time.
They got draft problems. There's
two
problems.
Big contracts. They got 2 big contracts coming up with their studs with Clemson kid Simmons, and then not to mention Buda Baker. I keep an eye on that safety, and then the Tulsa kid Collins. Like, they got some tough decisions and no cap money to do it.
Right.
So we'll see. Did the lizard get you?
No, just it started to cool off out here. I went from like 50s and 60s. Even in Vegas was cooler than that, and then here it's like 88 today. So
going in reverse, man. It was like 70 degrees yesterday. Was it cool?
I need the fan on, and it's not bad.
Well.
It feels good. Tomorrow's gonna be a little warmer when I'm out in the sun watching softball, but I guess we can wrap up with that. Why am I in Manila? So my niece plays for Rogers State University. Small Division II school. It's a 4-year college there in Claremore, Oklahoma, which is Northeast Oklahoma for you guys that don't know. But my niece is a starting third baseman. It's her senior year. I believe she's a 4-year starter. She may be a 3-year starter. Pretty sure a 4-year starter. I should know that, but I don't. Defending champs. Got to go to Denver last year. Check them. They went undefeated through the World Series. Got a strong team back. They've had some transfers come in. Talk about the transfer portal being great for them. Brought in, 2 stud pitchers. Stud DH Michaela Jackson out of
people, bro.
Tulsa, University of Tulsa. Pitcher Sarah from the University of Tulsa. And they're dealing. They're currently ranked number 1. They've lost 1 game. Was a walk-off 3 games ago. Niece is playing well. She's on a 3-game home run streak.
Good for her.
But at the end of the day, man, stud third baseman, bro. Defensively,
great.
She's just there, bro. So
Great human being.
We're down in Manila. They got the they call it the spring games.
Yeah.
It's basically just a round robin of some of the best teams in the country. I think the first game they play is a team out of Pennsylvania. And I really haven't done the research on the rest of the teams, but definitely looking forward to a couple of days of good softball. Tomorrow night, I'd offered to cook for the team, so coach is going to have me out to their place. I gotta go to the store after this, and I'm doing fried rice. We're gonna do some teriyaki chicken, some like hot sauce chicken. We're gonna do burgers. We're gonna do mac and cheese. We're gonna do the whole fruit spread, since it's gonna be a little harder to get them some stuff to get some fluids in them. But yeah, I'm looking.
Let me get that invite, bro.
Right. Well, come on through, man. You're welcome.
A little bit of a drive.
Yeah, a little bit of a drive, bro. Flying to Orlando, I'll come pick you up.
Sounds great, man.
Yeah, I got a double header the next 3 days, and for you guys don't know, most Division II schools play double headers all their games, kind of help minimize costs for travel and whatnot. So yeah, this is kind of the last hurrah before they start major conference play and start working toward a repeat. And if they were able to repeat, I think it's the first repeat in 25 or 30 years for a D2 school. And I think they got a good shot, man. They've been playing well. They're focused. They're having fun. And they're not going to go undefeated. Obviously, they lost 1, but what teams really go undefeated? Oh, you lost a game too right now. Now they're out here smashing people. So yeah, exciting for the family. Excited for her. She just graduated with her bachelor's in sports medicine in the fall, and then she's working on her minor right now. So last semester, last run. Hopefully we can bring home the gold again. It'd be awesome to see her and her teammates leave with 2 rings on the way out. But no matter what, I'm here to support, and that's why I'm here. So looking forward to a good weekend, 3 days of softball before I start heading back to real life and
event season,
event season, baby. Yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah.
Hey, I'll say this, brother. Enjoy yourself, relax. We're trying not. I told Jared before he left. I said, try not to burn the joint down. Wayne's here. We're having a good time with the fellas. And
my only rule is, if you're going to burn it down, burn it all the way.
Yeah, you get a total loss.
Yeah, I want a total loss, baby.
But no, jokes aside, man. Look, dude, have fun. We got it locked down. And
all right. Well, tell all the fellas in T-Town I said what's up. We'll be there next Friday.
Tell everybody have the combine on tomorrow and watching the underwear Olympics, and have a good day of business. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely looking forward to seeing all the guys at all the shops for the 2-year anniversaries in Monroe on Thursday the 9th and Friday the 10th at South Tulsa. Then obviously hitting back up and doing our first Sinistro event at Stag of Stillwater. And following up at HQ, the mothership in South Oklahoma City. So yeah, looking forward to having James in. Maybe we can do a podcast with him when he comes in, bro.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, I'm sure he'd enjoy doing that.
All right, man. Well, let's sign off here and tell the good folks out here not to forget to be living the cigar life and put a little smoke in there, baby.
Be safe, guys.